I mean, I guess you could say Super Smash Bros. Brawl was my first actual fighting game. I mean, that depends on whether you classify it as a fighting game. I was as a traditional fighting game, a question that has led to much toxicity born of insecurity among the melee elitists.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
And we are back with 1991 in video games. But first, let's talk about the pop culture landscape. You got the top 10 movies were The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear.
Yep. Naked Gun.
Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride.
Yeah.
Sleeping with the Enemy. The Addams Family.
Addams Family. Yay.
Hook. City Slickers. Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs.
It rubs solution on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh, Beauty.
Yeah.
Robin
One of
Hood.
the best Disney movies.
Yep. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Another amazing movie.
Yep. And Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Yep, I saw that in the theater. And that's how I learned the F word.
Oh my goodness. That's a story.
We also had
seen
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Love that too.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Pretty good movie.
Yep.
Not as good as the first though.
Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, quote unquote.
It never stops.
Yeah. The criminally underrated Hudson Hawk.
That's a good movie.
It really
It's
is.
good.
Yep, I agree. That's very underrated.
Highlander 2, The Quickening. And one of my favorite John Candy movies, Delirious.
Delirious.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
In TV, in the landscape, the first television sets with built-in closed caption displayed are introduced in the United States.
Whoa.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, sweet.
What a revolution.
Yeah, I know. Nickelodeon introduces a series of Nicktoons with Doug, the Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy.
Ren
Yes.
and Stimpy, yay.
Oh, man.
Rugrats was iconic.
Also debuting, Clarissa Explains It All, Float Your Shorts, and a series I know because I watched it, Hi Honey, I'm Home.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
All right, Hi Honey, I'm Home was basically this kid watches an old black and white TV show. The characters of that show become his actual next-door neighbors.
That sounds really crazy. I don't like it.
Also, my professors in community college wrote for the show.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Which college was that?
Middlesex Community College.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Jennifer Lopez joins the cast of the Fly Girls on In Living Color.
Oh, yeah, I kind of remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
MTV introduces us to Liquid Television and Aeon Flux.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
At WrestleMania 7, the Ultimate Warrior defeats Randy Savage in a retirement match.
Yeah, but that was huge on the school yard, dude. That was huge at school.
That was big, yeah.
I don't really follow wrestling much, but I do remember reading a fan fiction in which the Ultimate Warrior wrestles SCP-682.
Oh, dear God.
No, he wrestles SCP-106. No, he wrestles Abel from the SCP Foundation.
Oh, my God.
SCP-682 is involved.
We also,
But he is set to. But he is. There are 100 wrestlers in Knight's armor are set, known as the Dragon Slayers, are set to wrestle 682. And it ends about as well as you would think. I will put the link in the Skype chat.
oh God,
It's called
okay.
Saturday Night SCP Smackdown.
Christ. Okay, we also got The Undertaker starting his undefeated streak, taking on Jimmy Snuka, which leads into SummerSlam 91 with the match made in heaven of Savage and Liz getting married, with the match made in hell, Hulk and the Warrior taking on Crystal Sapa and General Adon.
I think it got removed. It was so good.
We also had the Big Boss Man versus the Mountie in a jailhouse match, which ends in a rape joke.
Lovely.
I remember that.
Moving on.
We got some favorite cartoons that are out this year. Bucky O'Hare, Little Shop, Little Dracula, Yo Yogi, and James Bond Jr.
Yeah, but I remember all those.
That trend of, hey, let's take something and make a kid's version out of it, even though it's a cartoon.
We are also introduced to Rockapella doing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego for the game show.
Oh, sweet.
As long as it's better than their attempt at reboot.
Yeah. Let's see. Ending this year was The Adventures of the Gummy Bears.
Aw.
Dallas. Twin Peaks. Tailspin. A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Hey Dude. The Real Ghostbusters. Captain N, The Muppet Babies, and Beetlejuice.
Good riddance to Captain N, otherwise known as Quint's cartoon debut. Seriously, Captain N Mega Man. I dare you to convince me otherce than that Captain N Mega Man is Quint. Look at him. Green armor.
Yeah, he could be.
Shades.
It is.
Utterly garbage and annoying.
But he needs the pogo stick.
Yeah, it's Quint without Sakugan.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Let's see. Born this year was Sierra Hana, a.k.a. Morin, the Yellow Ranger from Megaforce, Super Megaforce, and Super Ninja Steel. Okay. Also born this year, Bonnie Wright, a.k.a. Ginny Weasley.
Yay!
AJ Michalka, a.k.a. Lady Lewis from the Goldbergs. Britney Spears' sister, Jamie Lynn Spears.
Who starred in Zoe 101, which was a great show.
Never heard of it.
Juliana Rose Morello, a.k.a. Stephanie from Lazy Town.
It's biscuit,
the first one. We also had Jordan Henson, a.k.a. Zoe from Eureka. And then basically the entire cast of Arrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Also, Ivana Lynch, Luna from Harry Potter.
Yay! Harry Potter!
Sadly, the world lost Freddie Mercury. Jimmy McDonald, voice of Mickey Mouse. And the first Bozo the Clown, Vance Colvig, and Gene Roddenberry. In music, we had Madonna, Justify My Love.
That song sucks.
Yes. CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. Everybody
dance now! Bum,
yep.
bum, 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 bum.
EMF's Unbelievable. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch's Good Vibrations.
Marky Mark.
And the King of Pop with Black and White. Heading over to comics, Count Dracula is canceled by Marvel. Amazing Spider-Man 344 is the first introduction to Cletus Cassidy, also known as Carnage.
Yep, I remember that one.
Ooh, interesting.
New Mutants 98, which is the introduction of Domino, Gideon, and Deadpool.
Yeah.
And the
Birth of a Legend.
Wade Wilson.
Heathcliff is canceled with issue 56. In March, Weapon X begins. In April, New Mutants 100 is the final issue, and it's the debut of the X-Force.
Yes, that's awesome.
In June, we get the horrible crossover event, Armageddon 2001.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I have to go on a tangent.
Okay.
In Armageddon 2001. In the early 90s, DC published a story about how in the distant future, in the year 2001, all the heroes will be killed by one of their own, but no one knows who it was. The murderer who took the name of Monarch after going bad. So a man created a device that would allow him to travel back, scan each of the heroes to discover who the true traitor is, and stop him. Each book's annual that year was about a possible future where the star of the book went through a huge crisis that might cause them to snap. The original plan was for Captain Atom, but the people who guessed that DC decided to make it Hawk, have it be Monarch because they ran out of ideas. Yeah, they ran out of ideas. So
cut out for a moment.
Basically, they had DC had one character, but they said we don't really like that. So here's this other guy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so DC.
Oh my God! And you said because they didn't want people guessing.
Yeah, they changed it at the very end.
Oh my God! Okay. If I may build upon your rants for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know American Artifacts, right? Otherwise known as Andrew.
Yeah.
From my server. Yeah, he told us the story this one time about a JoJo RP he did gone horribly wrong. Gone sexual, indeed. The video of he told us the story, the video of which will be on my channel once Zeta finishes editing it. Unfortunately, it's an hour and a half long, so it will probably take a really long time.
Okay,
You'll have to wait for the full story to come out on my channel, or ask Andrew himself.
Okay.
He will be happy to recount the tale.
All right. In July, we got the premiere issue of Withered, a magazine of comics, entertainment, and pop culture.
Oh, man. Damn.
And with issue 80, the Transformers comic is canceled.
Aw.
A comic book which I liked for a long time, Bone, is independently published.
Oh, yeah.
From 1991. From 1991 to 2004. And then finally, unfortunately, the world loses America's children's novelist, illustrator, animator, and comic artist, Dr. Seuss, at age 87.
No, that sucks.
And,
he's legendary.
Yep. And now let's get to the video games.
All right.
This was
so. Do I finally get to talk about Sonic now?
Soon. This was the era of Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Link eats boys' lunch.
I remember that commercial so much.
Yeah.
Well, though, ironically, the links turned out to be lackluster at best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We got video game businesses, new companies, Vicarious Visions Inc., known for Vigilante 8, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Star Wars Jedi Knight 1 and 2.
Ooh, Jedi Knight.
Those are all so good
Love
games.
Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock.
Yep.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
I really wish I had managed to... I really wish I hadn't missed out on Guitar Hero 3. Both the final boss song and EX boss song are... Yeah, we've got Knights of Sidonia and Through the Fire and the Flames, two of my favorite songs ever.
And now,
not to mention that Devil Went Down to Georgia metal remix.
Yeah, song is amazing. But Vicarious Visions are basically known for Skylander games. and Crash Bandicoot: The Insane Trilogy, and the horribleness that is Destiny 2.
Hey, Destiny 2. Just I've heard. Don't say that to Stormer's face. He will shred you alive.
I hate Destiny so much.
I mean, granted, I'm not really into Destiny. I think Warframe is infinitely superior. Not to mention it's packed to the brim with robot waifus, especially Valkyr. But now that we've gotten these expansions and stuff, I mean, base Destiny was incomplete. That's all you can say about it. But after they started actually adding content, it actually started getting a lot better.
We also got id Software, which was Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Also the creator of the Quake 3 Arena engine.
Yep.
And of course, QuakeCon.
Yep. Also in 1991, we got Bungie.
Yep.
The home that Master Chief built. We also got Silicon and Synapse, which is now known as Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Yay, Blizzard.
Yay, Blizzard. But also,
and the lovely
fuck you, Blizzard.
Yeah, it's yay and boo.
So many... it's like...
Fuck you, Activision. Wait a
Yeah,
second. Wait just a second. I see a strange thread going across all of these companies. Vicarious Visions, Silicon and Synapse, aka Blizzard, and Bungie. Wait a second. Activision!
Yep.
Oh...
Holy shit, what the hell?
Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like...
That is so weird.
On one hand, Blizzard makes great games. On the other hand, their business practices are horrible. That
True.
goes for like half the gaming companies I like, including Nintendo. Although to be fair, they're the least offensive on the list.
Exactly.
Because
when
hey,
it screws up, you just kind of shrug your head and go, "Oh, Nintendo."
I mean, sure,
if you're a lifelong Nintendo fan, you're used to disappointment.
Yeah, it's like. Sure, they made their Wi-Fi a service that you have to pay for, but on the other hand, at least it's cheap as hell.
Yeah.
Then again, what you get, if you've ever played Splatoon, you know the quality of the... you are definitely getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
Seriously, Nintendo, you could fix Splatoon 2 any moment now.
It's more than just that, trust me, because I would love to be able to play Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle with more than just one person, but the minute a second person connects, the game stutters like hell. The minute a third person even attempts to connect, the game just outright wants to quit.
Though I will say this. Nintendo, at least, has not completely forgotten that local multiplayer should be a thing, like so many other game companies. And so an unfortunate number of first-person shooters seem to have forgotten. Like
so many companies.
Why doesn't imagine playing Overwatch split screen or Paladins.
Oh, God.
All right,
That would be fun as hell.
we also got the 3DO company.
Oh,
Yep.
3DO.
Slummers don't wear ties.
Basically known for the Army Men games and Warriors of Might and Magic.
Battle tanks.
And battle tanks. Yep. We also got Cyber Dreams, which only had 6 games. Most memorable, I Have No Mouth, But I'm a Scream, based on a Harlan Ellison story. And Dark Seed, which had monsters created by H.R. Giger.
Oh, yeah.
We go into hardware. In July, Atari updates their Lynx handheld system with a smaller form factor, better screen, and longer battery life. August 23, we get North America gets the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm one of them. December 1st.
Well, I was jealous that my friends had it, but not me. For a while.
I got it that year for Christmas.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got mine in '92. So.
December 1st, Sega releases the Mega CD in Japan. In September, S3 launches with the 86C911, often regarded as the first significant graphics accelerator chip for the Windows platform. Now let's get into video games. The actual game.
Okay.
Electronic Arts releases its motorcycle combat racing game Road Rash.
Otherwise known.
I like Road Rash.
I have Road Redemption, but it lags like hell on my computer. Then again, my computer doesn't run a lot of things. I don't know why. It's a good computer. It's a pretty high-end gaming PC. It's a laptop. But it's like, its drives are full to bursting, and I don't know why. I don't know what's filling them up.
AOL, SSI, TSR, and Stormfront Studios collaborate and launch Neverwinter Nights, the first graphical MMORPG.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah.
Delphine Software releases a cinematic adventure game, Another World for the Amiga.
That one's great.
Which uses polygons instead of sprites.
That was the beginning of the very often misunderstood cinematic platformer genre.
Yes.
That a lot of other games would be a part of. People would pick up and you either love them or hate them, but most people would go, this game fucking sucks, thinking it was going to be more like a Contra game or a Mario game. And it's like, no, all of your movements in these games are deliberately timed movements because they're cinematic. Case in point, I believe it was Blackthorn.
Yes.
I think
I'm
it's
not
another
entirely
example of that.
sure the kind of thing you're referring to. Like, what? Yeah, I've never heard of any of these things.
The cinematic platform genre is a very, very small subgenre of platforming games from the early 90s that put a greater emphasis on the animation of the character and what they're doing versus the gameplay of what's going on. So, like, when you jumped from point A to point B, or you went to do something, you committed to that shit, or else, like, yeah, you were fucked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, look up Out of This World or Blackthorn are two of the most notable ones. Blackthorn being from Blizzard.
Okay.
Yeah, I always wanted to play them. I've never played them before.
DMA Design releases Lemmings.
Oh, Lemmings! I love Lemmings.
DMA Design.
I never got into Lemmings.
Yeah.
Well, I would just put 2 blocker lemmings and just have all the lemmings go between all of them and blow them all up.
Fun fact, DMA Design is currently known as Rockstar North Limited.
Oh, there you go.
In February, Capcom releases Street Fighter 2 for the arcades.
Oh, yeah. We all remember that.
I honestly was never all that... I was never all that into Street Fighter. I didn't really get into fighting games until kind of recently. I mean, I mean, I guess you could say Super Smash Bros. Brawl was my first actual fighting game. I mean, that depends on whether you classify it as a fighting game. I was as a traditional fighting game, a question that has led to much toxicity born of insecurity among the melee elitists.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's just...
Yeah.
And
Sorry about that.
In June, Sega releases some game named Sonic the Hedgehog.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Totally never. It's too slow.
You're too slow.
You're too slow.
But yeah.
No good.
That's no good.
Instantly, that's a perfect segue into Sonic 1. So yeah, well, I mean, so yeah, as a game, it's pretty good. As a Sonic game, let me put it this way. Just like Mega Man 1, it's a clear case of first game syndrome.
Yeah, kind of have to.
It's hampered. Yeah, honestly. Okay, just to make it clear where I stand on Sonic, we have our classic loyalists and we have our modern loyalists. I mean, I am somewhere in the middle. I tend to like more of the modern Sonic games. My first Sonic Advance 3 specifically. I have no patience for Sonic classic elitists. They who like to pretend that classic Sonic was perfect when Sonic 1 is hampered by the most schizophrenic difficulty curve I have ever seen.
It's
we start out with
a really short game, so I mean, of course, that's the time period of short game equals.
Yeah.
Let's increase the difficulty level dramatically so that people don't say,
it's
this game sucks.
We start out with Green Hill Zone. That's in Green Hill Zone. It's good. Then we go to Marble Zone, which completely I mean, it's not a bad zone, but it completely kills the pacing and definitely should not have been the second zone. Then we go Spring Yard Zone, which is, again, good. And then the zone that must not be named.
Oh, sorry.
The worst water level in all of Sonic.
Yeah.
Labyrinth Zone.
And I assume
and
when
then
first...
we have and then we have Starlight Zone, which is good, and Scrap Brain Zone, which is also kind of good.
Yeah. I assumed when we all played the Labyrinth Zone at first, we did not know that we had to get the water bubbles to give Sonic air.
Yeah.
No, yeah. They don't tell you anything.
Add to that only 6 Chaos Emeralds that don't do anything except give you a slightly different thing, and some of the worst, most uncreative Sonic bosses I have ever seen. Seriously, Spring Yard Zone boss. Spike. One tiny spike.
It doesn't age very gracefully.
Yeah, it was good for its time.
It's the blueprint, that the series is built off of. Clearly, Sonic 2.
Sonic 2 was a lot better.
You have two different kinds of games back then. You have games where the first game was great, and then they didn't know where to go with the second one, so they kind of fucked it up with something experimental, like Zelda 2, Castlevania 2, you have those, and then you have others like Sonic or hell, even Mario can technically fall into that prior category because Mario
2 was vastly different, but it was good.
Both, because Mario 2 in Japan, aka Lost Levels, was more of the same, but insanely harder.
Yeah, it's a mission pack. It's a mission pack sequel. Basically,
Mario 2 USA also radically different and kind of leaves you going, "What the fuck?" Sonic is part of that other category of games like Mega Man, where the first game is like the blueprint, and the second game saw
visibly rough around the edges, but the second game.
Let's do this to fix it, make it better.
Yeah, the first game laid down the blueprint. The second game made it. The second game smoothed out the edges, and the third game, well, I wouldn't say perfected it. Because, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is awesome, don't get me wrong.
So big they had to put it onto 2 cartridges.
Yep.
Yeah. I won't deny that Sonic 3 and Knuckles has its bad moments. I'm looking directly in your barrel-bouncing face, Carnival Night Zone.
But at least the music in Sonic 3 was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Getting Michael Jackson himself on board.
Come on!
All right. Then in July 19th, Square releases Final Fantasy IV in Japan.
It would be out later that year in America.
Yep.
First Final Fantasy game published by Square in the United States.
Yep. That is
Final Fantasy 1 was published by Nintendo.
Oh yeah, by Nintendo.
August 23rd, Nintendo releases Super Mario World and F-Zero in North America.
Classics.
And what a packed freaking, 5 months Nintendo would get out of the whole,
Because in November, it releases one of the only Zelda games I ever beat, Link to the Past.
I've never played Link to the Past.
Especially with the
it's a good
game.
game.
It's like, that's what I hear. But it's like... To me, it just... I'm sure it's good, and I'll probably play it at some point, but the reason why I haven't up to this point is probably because it just seems kind of ordinary. Most Zeldas nowadays have something to hook you in, whether it be the Twilight Realm, the flying, everything in Breath of the Wild.
But the hook in Link to the Past is literally the light and dark world.
Yeah, the dark world, yeah. It's like... Yeah, I should probably give it a try, but...
if you find that a little tough to get into, try Link Between Worlds, because it's the exact same game, but with that wall melting mechanic.
Yeah, I have heard varying opinions about Link Between Worlds. It looks pretty cool to me.
It's a good game, but I find it very
And of
easy.
course, Princess Hilda is always nice. But
in December, LucasArts releases Monkey Island 2 for the Amiga, MS-DOS, and Macintosh. December 4th, Konami releases Super Castlevania.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
December 6th, Mega Man 4 is released in Japan.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Mega Man 4. We didn't really get a chance to talk much about Mega Man in the last one. Mega Man 4. Mega Man 4 is probably... Mega Man 4 is another case where it's probably... low on the list of my favorites, just because, it's not all that interesting. It is. It's got a pretty good Robot Master lineup. Yeah, Dive Man's cool.
I love Dive Man.
Drill Man is cool. Skull Man's pretty cool. At least if you set his weapon aside. Pharaoh Man is awesome. Yeah.
Especially if you use him in Mega Man.
Oh yeah. Hey, he was one of the first bosses supplied in Mega Maker for a reason. But yeah, and most of the music is decent, I guess. A lot of it isn't all that memorable though. Dran's theme, it's okay. Toadman's theme is awesome. Skullman's theme is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pharaoh Man's theme is great, although it doesn't really fit his Egyptian theme.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah. Dive Man's theme is probably what is. I'm not sure whether Dive Man or Dive Man might be my favorite song in the game.
And then we got Bob's Gigaboot's favorite character, Dustman.
Yes, Dustman. I can't believe I forgot him. Well, it just goes to show how Arigato, Bito.
Dosta Bito.
Bito. Domo arigato, Mr. Bito.
That's never gonna get old.
Yeah. Though, also, it had the worst charge shot. Well, yeah, the straight laser that looks cool, but is too tiny to actually hit anything.
Yeah, they definitely improved it on Mega Man 6.
Yeah, great. Yeah, my favorite the best charge shot, in my opinion, would have to be the one from Mega Man 5. Though the only thing wrong with that, yeah, I mean it's the proper size. It's not size. The one from Mega Man 6 was kind of underwhelming in my opinion. But the problem with the one in Mega Man 5 was that the other weapons were too underpowered to really encourage you to use anything but the charge shot. Yeah. And it's a shame because Mega Man 5 had some great weapons that really could have been useful if they had been buffed slightly. Yeah. Like the napalm bomb, gyro cutter, crystal eye.
Oh god. Okay, continuing on with the list because
let's go.
All right. Also in December, Tecmo releases Tecmo Super Bowl.
The best football game ever.
Yes.
My favorite football game.
Best one ever. Although I also love NFL Blitz.
NFL Blitz is amazing.
I've never really been a big fan of sports games.
Yeah.
Let's see.
These are the best ones. Yeah.
We got Catacomb 3D, and which is basically the precursor to Wolfenstein.
Ooh.
Yep.
It's exactly Wolfenstein.
But is it as much exactly Wolfenstein as Super Noah's Ark 3D?
Okay, point. All right. Then we got some game that no one ever heard of and no one really cares about called Battletoads.
Do you have Battletoads?
Oh, thank you, Rare.
I beaten that legitimately, actually.
Nice.
Not so turbo tunnels.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got a whole host of games based on movies. Hellraiser, Beetlejuice, T2 Judgment Day, Predator 2, Star Wars, Home Alone, Little Mermaid, Hudson Hawk, The Rocketeer, which is not based on the movie but the comic book, and Darkman.
Yeah, this is the second time I've done this podcast.
Then we got the very trippy Dragon Lair 2 Time Warp.
Oh yeah.
Followed by the side-scroller version of Duke Nukem.
Yep.
Yep, I remember
Original
that.
Duke Nukem.
Yep. Eye of the Beholder 2. Kid Icarus, Myths and Monsters for Game Boy.
AKA the one no one really remembers.
Yeah, I've never played it. But
I remember that one, actually. In fact, I like that one more than the original because the original one's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Knights
Though I will say this, though I will say this, it's like then Kid Icarus dropped off the map for 20 years. And then he appeared in Brawl, and then we got one of the best games ever made.
I gotta say, the writing and the voice acting in that game, top notch.
Yes, Kid Icarus Uprising was just so charming. I mean, every character was
Priest Summers was freaking Medusa.
Yeah, floor ice cream gives you health. And yes, Medusa is amazing. Though, best waifu is Phosphora, hands down. I want her to electrocute me.
I love Magus as a character too.
Mags is great.
He's
Then
great.
we got
What? No, those are my pants.
then we got a game that I love either in the arcade and in Super Nintendo, 2020 Super Baseball.
Oh man, damn!
I adore this game. So I still play it.
I was gonna say that game was definitely just for those like power ups and shit. Like it was definitely a fun game to play with other people. Just don't play against the computer because the computer is fucking cheap as fuck.
Then we got Bolorama, an arcade game that I only played in bowling alleys.
Why would you play an arcade bowling video game at a bowling alley where you could just bowl for real?
I did. You got
You nerd.
Yes. Fatal Fury, King of Fighters for the arcade.
Yep, Fatal Fury.
Captain America and the Avengers.
Love that game.
Oh, that was a good one. That was by Data East.
Okay, go!
America.
Remember that old Captain America movie where he was stealing cars and just being a jerk?
Yes, by Red Brown. I own that movie.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Oh, as Warlick would say, my condolences.
A game I'm sure me and Jace put so many quarters in, WWF WrestleFest.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
We also got Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Turtles in Time.
Hero Turtles.
Yes.
Hero
Simpsons,
Turtles.
the arcade game.
Simpsons,
Konami's arcade engine was phenomenal. back then. So, I mean, like Simpsons, X-Men, Turtles in Time, Sunset Riders, like
Yep.
Konami could do no wrong with
yeah.
a 4-player arcade cabinet.
Remember the time when Konami was good?
Yeah, those were the days.
Sunset Riders is still my jam. I actually just watched your Let's Play of it, Ryan. It was really good.
Awesome, thanks, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I had a great time playing that.
I still have the cartridge. In fact, I've been meaning to do a playthrough myself. Problem is I need a good AV to HDMI adapter to get the color quality.
Yeah, in all honesty, it's going to be tough. For my SNES, I actually use a SCART cable.
Anyway.
Yes. Speaking of The Simpsons, we also got Bart vs. the World and Bart vs. Space Mutants.
Those games were awful.
They were.
Yeah.
We also got...
Why would you match
LJN.
the jump button and the run button to the same button?
Yep.
Yep.
We got Tailspin.
I like that game a lot, Tailspin.
Yeah, that was good.
Wolverine. We got Mega Man 2 on Game Boy, the game where Mega Man kills Dr. Wily.
Yep.
And also the game where Quint is a thing.
Yes.
And it also has horrible music.
The horrible ear-bleedingly high snipe stuff that was used much better in the Mega Man V soundtrack. Seriously, yeah, I mean, if you listen to Venus's theme, I've had it stuck in my head for like the past few days, and that is using the high-pitched synths well, because you're actually using it in a song with a very wide pitch range, so it's not just a perpetual screeching in your ear.
We also got Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was part of that whole early Genesis does what Nintendo don't thing, because one of the early SNES releases was Final Fight, which was a massive letdown. Screenshots to make it look like a perfect arcade port, and then you get the game, and there's only 2 playable characters. It's a single-player game, and it's missing an entire level.
Yep.
And then Streets of Rage comes out, 3 characters,
Okay, not turn
levels.
down.
And it's 2 players.
It's like,
Then we also got Tiny Toon Adventures.
Oh, love that game too.
Buster Bust Loose.
No, the first one.
Oh,
the
the
NES.
original one. Okay, yeah.
That was a good game.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's such a hard game, but it's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killer Coral. Killer Coral's life.
Interestingly enough, that version of the game would be made by Capcom, unlike the NES cartridge, which was actually a port by an outside company.
Oh, really? It was a port? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
well,
Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins
uh,
was originally
Ghosts
an
and
arcade game.
They were ports performed by outside companies for them. German
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, I'm pretty sure was an original Super NES.
It
was
was
an original though.
SNES game. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And also and not surprisingly, it was also the best of the Ghosts and Goblins series.
Yeah.
We also got Terminator 2 Judgment Day for the arcade, the pinball shooter.
Oh, the pinball. Oh. Yeah, the pinball game. That pinball game was good too.
A fun little computer game called Ski Free.
The Yeti.
The Yeti.
I love Ski Free. Yeah, the Yeti.
The Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
Oh, I love that game.
I like the game. I never beat it, though.
It is a really it is a really tough game to beat.
Yeah,
I haven't beaten it myself either.
Yeah, I got to the last boss. I couldn't beat it.
Toe Jam and Earl.
Love that game. Oh, that's
great
amazing.
game too.
A game I love that I randomly bought on a whim. Strike Gunner STG. It's a shmup game.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Top-down
Hence the name.
Yeah.
That's familiar, yeah.
And finally, we get Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Yep, the puzzle game.
Yoshi.
I like the game, but I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
My freaking TI-82 calculator had a version of that game on it.
No. Oh, nice. TI-82.
Nice.
I had a TI-85.
All right, now before we go,
I had a calculator with some puzzle games on it.
Before we go through the awards. The 1990-91 Golden Joystick Award.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, all right.
For game of the for 8-bit game of the year, it goes to Rick Dangerous 2.
Never heard of it.
16-bit winner is Kickoff 2.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of that one.
Best graphics of the year, 8-bit, goes to Midnight Resistance.
Never heard of it.
For 16-bit, Shadow of the Beast 2.
Never heard of it.
Soundtrack of the year, 8-bit, RoboCop 2.
Really?
16-bit, Speedball 2.
Speedball.
Never
Best
heard of it.
simulation game of the year, 8-bit, F-19 Stealth Fighter, and 16-bit F-19 Stealth Fighter, so both. Best coin-op conversion of the year, Rainbow Islands.
Ooh, Rainbow Islands.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, for 16-bit, my favorite, Golden Axe.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah? Oh, nice.
Love Golden Axe.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Best console conversion of the year, 8-bit, goes to Mega Man.
Yeah.
For 16-bit, Jodman Football.
Football!
PC Game of the Year goes to Railroad Tycoon.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Hardware Manufacturer of the Year goes to Sega. Software House of the Year goes to Ocean Software.
Ocean. Da 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 da.
Electric Gaming Monthly Game of the Year for 1990 goes to Strider.
Ooh, Strider. That's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's another interesting one. Despite being Capcom, that was an entirely Sega-made port for them because Nintendo kind of had Capcom tied around their little finger.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
Yay.
Hey.
For Moby Games, Game of the Year determined by the highest average of scores by various sources. For 1990, Railroad Tycoon. 1991, Lemmings.
Wow.
Yeah. The Japanese Game magazine published from 1986 to 99. The Game Awards were from 1990, Final Fight.
Wow.
In 1991, Street Fighter II: The World Warrior.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
And then we head to the Nintendo Power Awards for them.
Wait, you just said out. Nintendo
Yeah,
Power
Nintendo
Awards.
Power Awards for 1990. Best graphics and sound. The winner is Mega Man 3.
Nice.
Of course.
Nice.
Runners up are Super Mario 3 and Cosplay Dragon.
All
nice.
good
Yeah,
games.
they're all
good games.
also good for that.
Very.
Even if
Best
Castlevania 3 is
fun.
Kaizo
There
as
is
hell.
Super Mario 3. Runners up are Mega Man 3 and Chip and Dale the Rescue Rangers.
Obviously.
Of course.
Well deserved.
And Maniac
Oh.
Mansion.
All great
So,
games.
Capcom could never do any wrong with their Disney games back in the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Best
Goof Troop's still my all-time favorite.
challenge goes to Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse.
Yep,
Yeah, of course.
Hardest one.
Yep.
Well deserved, though. I mean, especially with the branching paths.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, I mean... yeah, there's a... Wait, hang on. Would Super Ghouls and Ghosts have been applicable for that award?
Well,
Been eligible for that
this is
award?
1990.
Well, this is 1990.
Yeah. So best
Oh, this is
one by
1990,
Dracula's
okay.
Curse, with the runners up Cosplay and Revenge. Best Play Control, Super Mario 3.
Play Crystals.
Yep, all challenging games.
Of course.
Yeah.
Runners up into Mega Man 3.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, Mega Man 3 does have
Little
less
Nemo
off-tier hit
and
nonsense to deal with.
Best Hero goes to Mega Man from Mega Man 3.
Oh, nice.
Seriously. Nice.
Runners up in
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
include Mario from Mario 3. Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
Well, he has the reach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blobber from The Boy and the Blob. Gizmo from Gremlins 2, the new batch. Best bad guy goes to Shredder from the arcade Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of it's kind of unfortunate that we don't seem to do categories like these with gaming awards anymore, even in an informal sense.
Runners up with Dr. Wowie from Mega Man 3.
When we find that we'll find Dr. Wowie. What, Mega Man?
Mega Man, what was that, Mega Man 8?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mega Man was the only good voice in that game. Yeah, I mean, if his voice fit well.
Also, we got the Koopalings from Super Mario 3.
I love the Koopalings.
Love those Koopalings.
Dr.
Was that a villain or a hero? What was that?
Bad
Villains.
guys.
Best
Oh,
villains.
I was about to say, wait, what? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Chaos from Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
A Metal Slime from Dragon Warrior 2.
Metal Slime.
Dragon Quest.
Metals.
Dr. Fred and Nurse Edna from Maniac Mansion.
Yeah, good ones.
Most innovative, winner goes to Shadowgate.
Oh, Shadowgate.
With runners-up including Maniac Mansion. Big Bird
We'll
Hide
see
and
what-
Seek.
Really?
A Boy and His Blob. And Power Glove.
It's so bad.
Best simultaneous multiplayer game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Runners-up include NES Play Action Football, Dr. Mario, and Gauntlet 2.
Ooh, Gauntlet 2.
Oh, Gauntlet. I love Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Best overall NES game, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Because of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious.
I mean, it was like the magnum opus, pretty much.
Runners-up include Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, Mega Man 3, Batman, Final Fantasy, Maniac Mansion, and Castlevania 3.
1990 was stacked year on the NES.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Best overall Game
So-
Boy game goes to
Oh,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Follow the Foot Clan,
Yep.
with the runners-up being Super Mario Land, Final Fantasy Legend, Castlevania The Adventure, and Gargoyle's Quest.
wasn't Castlevania the Adventure? I haven't heard much about it, but what I have heard
There are
about it
two
was-
games from it, and they took place after Simon Belmont's story.
Yeah,
The second one
we're
was
heading over to
yeah.
Best Graphics and Center.
All right.
Runners
Oh
up,
man,
Star Wars.
that's just great right there.
Hand, Ninja Gaiden 3, and Robin Hood Prince of Thieves.
Da-da-da,
Pretty good choices.
da-da-da,
Best Graphics and Sound for Game Boy. Metroid 2, Samus Returns.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Wait, it's Return of Samus.
Yes.
Samus Returns is the 3DS version,
Right.
which I still need to actually look into.
I still
Again,
need to
for
get
varying
it and play it.
opinions on it.
I heard it's pretty good.
Most of the rage is just but my AM2R. Well, I honestly was never present for that debacle, so.
The minute I heard Nintendo had pretty much, C&D'd that, I was like, maybe it's because Nintendo was planning on doing their own game like that.
Yeah,
And then Nintendo announces it, and I'm like, I knew it!
Runners up
I am not sure I'll ever be able to forgive them for taking down Pokemon Uranium, though. Like, rather than take it down, why not buy the licensing rights from them and actually distribute it yourself?
Because Nintendo's highly protective of their IPs, and if something is subpar from where their internal development studio would actually make a game, there's a big kind of it's a very messy area, because Nintendo wouldn't want something releasing out into the public that wouldn't be up par with what they would release themselves.
Yeah, but it's yeah. And granted, Pokemon Uranium was quite a fair bit darker than normal Pokemon, though actually I say that, and it's like, what are you talking about? Look at Gen 4. Look at Lavender Town. Look at Gen 4. Not only we have you going into hell to fight Satan and save the villain, but then decides that he doesn't want you to save him because he's found his perfect emotionless world. That is some serious hardcore stuff.
Okay, getting back to this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have a tendency to fanboy when it comes to Pokemon. Where were we?
Still, best graphics and sound winner was Return of Samus.
Okay.
Runners up, Mega Man, Dr. Wily's Revenge, Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge.
A lot of revenges.
Yeah, I know. Best graphics and sound.
Everyone was getting their revenge this year.
Best graphics and sound for Super Nintendo. The winner is Super Mario World, as rightfully so.
Yes,
Of course.
Runners up, Super Castlevania, Final Fantasy II, and ActRaiser.
I will say that, ActRaiser, which did come out before Final Fantasy II, ActRaiser was what got Uematsu to wicked overhaul the music and step up the game for Final Fantasy II. Hearing what the sound team did on ActRaiser from Enix, kind of you had this back and forth going on between those two companies that are now the same company that kind of helped each other kind of get better as they one-upped each other. So some great sound design in all of those freaking games.
Yeah.
Best theme and fun for the NES. Winner goes to Battletoads.
I don't know about fun, but
Yeah. Well, as long as you don't play it multiplayer.
yeah, that's true.
Runners up include Star Tropics and Adventures of Lola 3.
They have good choices.
Yeah.
Best theme and fun on the Game Boy goes to Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge.
Yeah.
Runners up, Caesar's Palace, Operation C, and Final Fantasy Adventure. Best theme and fun for Super Nintendo. Winner, Super Mario World, because
Obviously.
Of course.
Runners up, Final Fantasy II, Super Tennis, ActRaiser, and SimCity.
Nice.
That was another interesting one, too, because SimCity was completely made by... it was a port, but it was completely developed by Nintendo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I remember. I love Sims. I still have the giant floppy disk of the original game.
Oh, no.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it had some really chill music, some nice features to kind of speed up gameplay a little bit on the SNES version. And, of course, the real reason to play the SNES version, Bowser.
Yeah.
Bowser?
Yes, he's one of the Havoc.
One of the disasters. Oh, man.
Well, and I also like Dr. Wright as the advisor.
Yeah, Dr. Wright was
Dr.
great, too.
Yeah, I mean, I love both versions of SimCity, the PC and the SNES, but kind of prefer the SNES one.
Dr. Wright,
too bad
otherwise
it's-
known as that one assist trophy in Brawl.
It's kind of a shame, though, that a lot of games that came out at that time that were PC ports or borderline PC ports came out a good year before the actual mouse attachment would come out.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Would have been a lot easier to play SimCity on the SNES with the mouse.
Yeah.
Well, but I got used to the controller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best challenge for the NES. Winner goes to Ninja Gaiden 3: The Ancient Chip of Doom.
I will definitely. Yeah, I agree with that.
Runners
Yep.
up. Simpsons versus Space Mutants, Battletoads, and the Rocketeer.
Oh.
Bart vs. Space Mutants for entirely the wrong reasons.
Yes. Best challenge for the Game Boy goes to Metroid 2: Return of Samus. Runners up, Final Fantasy Legend 2, Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge, and Final Fantasy Adventure.
Huh.
Best challenge for Super Nintendo, Super Golden Ghost.
Yeah!
Obviously.
Runners up, SimCity.
I mean, I'll just say this. Yeah, people nowadays say, oh, this game is the Dark Souls of blah, blah, blah.
No.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yes.
No.
Dark Souls is the Super Ghouls and Ghosts of RPGs.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no. There's
Dark
still
Souls-
one more... There's
Dark
one more
Souls
game
is
that
like-
goes beyond that. Holy Diver.
You've been down
Holy
too long in
God.
the Midnight Sea?
Yeah.
Oh, what's becoming of me?
That's where it got its name from. Holy Diver was made by Irem.
Which is an awesome game. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an amazing game. It's basically think Castlevania, but filled with heavy metal references and way freaking harder. Way freaking harder. Like,
Yeah.
you think Ghouls and Ghosts is hard? It's like, well, no. It is deliberate in how it places its hazards and stuff like that. You know, it is deliberate in how it does that. Same with Castlevania. No. Holy Diver pretty much takes Castlevania and Ghouls and Ghosts and mashes them together into this one just
Paizo hellscape.
And it is...
I don't usually count... Here's the thing. I don't usually count stuff like... Yeah, I only usually count stuff like I want to be the guy, stuff that's purposely designed to be unfair.
And it wasn't. That's the thing. It's not designed to be unfair, you know, but it's just that fucking challenging. Like, it is worth looking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the meantime,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Dark Souls. Hey, I'm the hardest game ever. Ghosts and Goblins. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Hold my Red Aramer beer.
Best play control for the NES goes to Battletoads.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. Runner-up is Metal Storm. Best play control for Game Boy goes Metroid 2 Return of Samus.
Yep.
With runners-up being Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters and R-Type. Best play control, best play control for Super Nintendo goes to Super Mario World. With the runners-up being ActRaiser and F-Zero.
Nice.
Best multiplayer or simultaneous winner is Battletoads. No.
No, not
No. How? Literally, did they even play the game?
No.
And geez, could my voice get any higher? I really need to.
Runners up: Tecmo Super Bowl, F1 Race, and Super Tennis.
Wait, hang on. Wait, Battletoads won, and okay, this is on NES, right?
No,
okay.
It's cross all NES, Super Nintendo, and...
Did F-Zero have local multiplayer? Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't.
No.
It did?
It did? Then
No,
why
it
didn't... Then why didn't it win?
I mean,
It's a
it was
co-op
just
racing.
basically...
It's a
It
racing
was
game.
just basically a racing game, though. I mean, like, there wasn't much to it.
Granted, it's distinguishes itself by being having warp speed jet cars. I still need to play F-Zero GX, and they seriously. People say this all the time, but it makes sense. We desperately need a new F-Zero game. Fast RMX is good, but Fast RMX is good, but it's nothing. It doesn't compare.
When they shut down the studio behind Wipeout, I still was saying that Nintendo should have bought them up and said, "Okay, you guys are in charge of F-Zero now." But
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but hey, if they can resurrect Kid Icarus after 25 years, anything's possible.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Best overall villain goes to Bowser from Super Mario World.
Of course.
Of course.
Runners up: Dr. Wily from Dr. Wily.
I mean, hey, the build up to the fight. I must say, yeah, it's like the build up to the fight with Bowser is masterful.
It is. It
Like,
definitely is.
like they don't show him for most of the game. They just vaguely mention the name. Like if you've played previous Mario games, you probably know who he is. But if you're new to the series, like I was, Super Mario World on GBA was my first Mario game. I was like, you're like, who's this guy? And then you get to the
Palace.
and then you get to the Valley of Bowser, and you see him flying around over the castle with thunder striking and with lightning striking in the background. And then you get to his battle, and his theme song starts playing, and he slowly descends onto the screen.
Epic.
It's awesome.
Also, runners. Let's see. So, runners-up include Dr. Wily, Zoda from Star Tropics, Dark Queen from Battletoads, and Sardius from Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh, yes.
Most innovative goes to Final Fantasy II on Super Nintendo.
That active time battle system was really innovative.
Runners-up include Pilot Wings, Smash TV, and The Hunt for Red October for Game Boy. Best overall NES game goes to Battletoads. Runners-up include Tecmo Super Bowl, Ninja Gaiden 3, and Star Wars. Best overall Game Boy game, Metroid 2.
Of course.
Runners-up, Castlevania 2, Operation C, Final Fantasy Adventure, and Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge. Best overall Super Nintendo game, Super Mario World.
Because why not?
Runners-up, Final Fantasy 2, ActRaiser, and SimCity, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah!
So that was 1991.
Yep.
So that will actually end us for our first video game retrospective. Gearhead Alice, where can people find you?
On Instagram at gearhead_Alice.
Jace, where can people find you?
Hang on.
Yep.
I remembered. Yeah, the guy's name is Rex Banter Project. Okay. Yeah, and he has his a series of Super Ghouls and Ghosts remixes. But yeah, go on.
All right, Jace, where can people find you?
So you can find me on the various social medias of the internet as Grid Hit Jace. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and streaming on Twitch several nights a week, along with edited, shortened versions of my streams on Crit Hit Jace YouTube as well. It's with a new series starting up on there called Dubzasterpiece Theater, in which me and a group of other funny people dub over JRPGs as I play through them. Current game we're playing right now is Mugen Souls.
Dreigonix, where can people find you?
You can find me at my YouTube channel, same name, Dreigonix. I do a series called Sunday Night Shootout. I play a lot of shooters, especially Toho. I also have a Discord. You can check that out. And, yeah, if you, in case you want to hear more of my horrible voice. Wait, I forgot to mention, yes, you can also find me on Twitter at Levin Maelstrom. All
right, Ryan, where can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at that Ryan Malina, and also at you can find me. You can find me on Twitch, Mixer, and Amazon Prime. Also at Battle Geek Plus.
Follow me on Twitter at Default Rick. Follow the channel on Twitter and Instagram at SuperFancomShow. Check out our YouTube and Purple Channel Twitch at SuperFancom. Listen to us via Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and Budsprout. Email us at superfancomshow@gmail.com. And also go check out our affiliates like the Green Teahouse to get all natural herbal teas, Think Geek to satisfy your geek needs, J-List if you want stuff from Japan, and Humble Bundle where you can get great deals on video games. For Gearhead Alice, Jace Ace, Dreigonix, and our special guest Ryan Malina from Battle Geek Plus, I'm Retro Rick. Good night and happy video gaming to you.